What have I done? This used to be my UCS Millennium Falcon. Well, this is most of what used to be. That's unfortunate. Check out my drop test video. I almost fell backwards in my chair. What's going on, everybody? It's me, Ryan, here at MandRproductions, and welcome to Ask MandRproductions, a series where you can ask me questions that I'll answer on this video series for you. So if you have a question that you want possibly answered next week, leave it in the comment section below, guys. I got a ton of comments last week, so unfortunately I obviously can't answer all of them. But again, leave them in the comment section below each week if I don't get to them. Maybe it's just something that I couldn't get to because I had too many other comments or something like that. So definitely keep leaving your comments. Thanks for the support, guys. Put a like on the video if you do enjoy, and let's get into the first question. The first question comes from Red Panda Gamer Official, and he says, if you could make one set for Star Wars, what would it be? Now, obviously, a remake would be an easy cop-out, so that's what I'm going to give you. Obviously, a Cloud City remake or a Jango Fetts LaVon remake, which we'll get to later in this video, actually, would be really cool. The last time we had either of those sets was 15 years ago now. The Jango Fetts LaVon coming out in 2002, and the Cloud City, I believe, came out in 2003. So it's been about 15 years since either of those sets have been on our shelves for us to buy, and now you can only get them really expensively on eBay, which is unfortunate. So those would be two remakes that I'd like to see them bring for the future. If I had to try to think of something original that they haven't made before, a Geonosis arena battle would be really cool, or a Yavin 4 base. I think those are two things that would work really well that they still have not made from the Star Wars universe. Now, obviously, it's very limited what they haven't made yet because they have done so much. Another idea I have that I would love to see is the Clone Wars MTT. Obviously, the 2007 MTT reigns supreme as the best MTT ever, but the Clone Wars MTT had a really cool color scheme, and I always thought they would make it, but they just never did. Brickface XD says, do you think LEGO will ever remake Jango Fetts LaVon? Well, this goes hand in hand with our last question where I gave you an idea for a set I would like. And Jango Fetts LaVon is something that I don't know. It's really a confusing thing to me because Jango Fetts LaVon has only ever been made once, and that was in 2002. And Boba Fett's LaVon has been made at least 3 times since then, including a UCS model. We had 2006, 2010, and the 2014 or 15 UCS model, which is amazing. It's like one of the best sets ever. I would highly recommend it for only $200, but Jango Fetts LaVon has just not been remade, and it really does puzzle me because I feel like it's a really cool ship and it's definitely due for an update. Obviously, if you look at the design of it compared to the most recent Boba Fett's LaVon, the non-UCS version, it's really lacking, but I just don't understand why they haven't made it. Do I think they'll make it? I mean, given how much time there is, yes. I mean, there's many, many more years of LEGO Star Wars to come. I think eventually we'll see it. We saw a Jedi Starfighter with hyperdrive ring, which is from that same scene with Jango Fetts LaVon. So maybe next year as the Toys R Us exclusive, we'll get Jango Fetts LaVon, but who knows? Sinister THS says, what is the most overrated LEGO Star Wars set? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to go on brickset.com and look at what everyone rates things. So in this list, we have all the Star Wars sets ranked 1 to 621 on Brickset, at least what's in their database and what they count as a set. And here we can see the top rated set is the 10188 Death Star based on 29 reviews. It's pretty much 5 stars. I can't tell if it's missing any of its stars there. Maybe someone gave it a 4-star, but that looks really good. The 7662 Trade Federation MTT, that's up there. All these sets, I believe, are definitely worth their 5-star rating that we see. This one looks a little overrated, the 2004 Millennium Falcon. Although it was the first with the newer design, I still feel like, of course, compared to today's sets, it's a little bit lacking, but we'll leave it there. We're not going to call that one the most overrated. I don't know what the hell that one's doing up here. It's got a small sample size, just 11 reviews. And really, as far as I can tell on this first page, there's nothing that I would highly consider as overrated. I think all these sets are solid sets, and they definitely deserve to be up here on the front page. There's just nothing that I see. Okay, I think, alright, we found our overrated set. This Technic R2-D2 is way overrated. I know it's got only 5 reviews, and obviously those have all got to be 5 stars for it to be a 5-star rating, but I think all 5 of those people are genuinely wrong. I really don't think this is worthy of a 5-star rating. I think that R2-D2 Technic version is just really bad looking. A lot of gaping holes in it, but you guys can look at this list for yourself. You can go on Brickset and just kind of put on all the Star Wars sets and then browse it by rating, and it's kind of something interesting to do. The next question is from J-Rod Production Studios, and he says, have you ever planned on selling any of your Lego sets to make room for new ones or lost enjoyment of them? Well, that's definitely an interesting question, J-Rod. I appreciate it, and I will say that I have definitely sold sets that I have fallen out of my favor in the past. Most recently, I sold my UCS Death Star from 2008, and I just didn't like the way it looked on my shelf, so I got rid of it. I got rid of it, and it made a little bit of space for me. Obviously, I still am out of space, so that's not really the main thing. I just didn't like it anymore. That's the main reason I would get rid of something. Usually I don't get rid of anything because I'm out of space. As you can tell, I'm out of space already, and I have tons of boxes over there with sets in them. But I would say I definitely do occasionally get rid of stuff that I don't like anymore, but for the most part, I keep like 97% of the Lego sets that I buy. Global Brick says, do you have any LEPIN sets? Do I look like I have any LEPIN sets? Warriors TV says, why are your TIE fighters stacked like that? I am always afraid they're going to fall. Well, it's the best way for me to store them, really. I feel like if I put the TIE fighters in a position where they aren't stacked, they're going to take up too much space, and obviously you guys can't see them right now, but if we point the camera up a little, you can see those are my TIE fighters. I stack them up like that, if I can get my hand to point at them. They do fit really well on top of each other. If you guys have more than one TIE fighter, you'll understand what I'm saying. They actually are pretty sturdy up there. They're not going to fall down. It's just the best way for me to store them and conserve space at the same time. Obviously, I want to use the space as best I can, and the best way to do that is to get 3 TIE fighters in the space that 1 TIE fighter would normally take up. And no, they won't fall down, I promise. Told you. Lego Steel Films asks, what is your favorite Star Wars movie and why? Well, that's a question I do get a lot, and I am a little bit of a indecisive person on this. I want to say it's The Force Awakens, but I also want to say it's Rogue One. And then I go back to my childhood, which wasn't that long ago, I guess, but I also want to say Star Wars Episode 3, which was the first movie I saw in theaters, so I have that special connection there. So it's really tough for me to choose. They're all really good, I feel like, obviously barring episodes 1 and 2, but which are incredibly hard for me to watch now. But I would say Rogue One right now. I'm just so indecisive on it. I don't want to pick a favorite. I love the franchise as a whole, and I just can't pick one that's significantly better than the group of them that I have as like my top like 3 or 4. So that's my answer for that. Unfortunately, I just can't pick one. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys' favorite movie is, and don't say The Phantom Menace. I know you're lying. Tristan D Production says, what is your favorite Jedi minifigure? Well, that award goes right to Jedi Bob, the best Jedi in all the Star Wars universe. He's completely exclusive to the 2002 Republic gunship, so you can only get him there. Jedi Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. Alright, and now the final question on today's Ask MandRproductions comes from a name that I am not going to pronounce, Diversion con Vidal, something like that. If LEGO did a LEGO minifigure Star Wars series, what minifigures would you like to see? He says, I would like to see J.J. Abrams, George Lucas, Harrison Ford / Han Solo, Carrie Fisher, Leia, Mark Hamill, Luke, etc. So basically main characters and the directors of the movie. Now that's not a bad idea. I would love to see the George Lucas minifigure, which there was a George Lucas minifigure of, very exclusive, very hard to, I don't know how many, like 1 or 2 were made, who knows, but I would like to see that. I would also like to see those main characters, obviously, and someone below him actually commented, it gave me a great idea. I'm kind of building off his idea. It says, Star Wars Episodes 1 through 6 cast collection. Now, the cast collection being the main characters, I guess, but I had a better idea that kind of piggybacks off this episode's idea, and that's for LEGO to release Star Wars minifigures as like a 10-part series. Okay, this has just gotten so ridiculous to me now I'm actually thinking about it, but I was thinking they could do Star Wars minifigures Episode 1 minifigures, and then have like 16 of those, Episode 2, Episode 3, and all be separate, Episode 4, Episode 5, Episode 6, Rogue One, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, whatever, you know, but now that I'm thinking about it, that's like 10 series over, you know, forever. It just wouldn't work, but I would love to see a Star Wars minifigure series. Unfortunately, the way the licensing works, LEGO really can't do that right now. Maybe at some point in the future, Hasbro will be like, okay, LEGO, you can do this, but I just don't see it happening anytime in the near future, unfortunately. As much as I would love for it to be a thing and how I would just buy boxes, I don't know if I would buy boxes, I would buy at least one box, just because it's Star Wars, but I don't think it's going to happen. I would love to see it happen. The minifigures I would really like to see are some exclusive clone troopers, some exclusive characters that we just haven't gotten or don't get very often, you know, like Jar Jar Binks. Of course, you would like to see classics like Darth Vader, Stormtroopers, regular clone troopers, regular Jedi, Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan. You know, the list goes on and on. There's so many different possibilities like Lego could do with the Star Wars minifigure series because the universe is so expansive. Galactic Marines, 501st Troopers, come on. But yeah, so that question really is really open-ended because there's so many characters, and of course I want to see them all. But you know, if Lego was eventually going to do one, which obviously they probably want to because it would just be a cash cow, right? But they can't because of the licensing agreement I think that they have with Lucasfilm / Disney / Hasbro, and how Hasbro can make figures, and a minifigure is considered an action figure in the industry, I guess, or whatever. But God, I would love it, but I just don't think it's going to happen. That's going to do it for today's Ask MandRproductions video, guys. If you did enjoy, leave a like on the video. If you have a question that you want me to answer next week on the video, leave in the comments section below, and maybe, just maybe, I'll get to yours. Obviously, I do get a lot of questions, so obviously I can't answer everybody's questions, so don't take offense to it if I don't answer yours. Thank you all for watching, guys. If you are new around here, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all